I'm back. Sam's back. You're back. We're back with Bob Dylan again.
This is our second Bob Dylan song.
Our second one. And it's our second one because of Mark.
Yes, another request from Mark. So thank you, Mark, for supporting the channel.
Mark likes his Bob Dylan.
Yes.
We've got a few Bob Dylan ones coming.
And now we're on the Bob Dylan journey.
Yeah. We wouldn't have got there without Mark. So thanks, Mark. Yes. Appreciate the support. And this is, I believe, a much more popular Bob Dylan song.
Oh, okay.
It's, I believe, his first or one of his first that reached the top of the charts. So that's a sharp contrast to the first one that we did.
Isis.
Which I think a lot of the comments were saying was more of a deeper cut for him.
Okay, cool. So this is going to be a little bit more, this is a more popular song from him.
Yeah, this is going to be much more well-known.
Okay.
And I think more people will recognize this one, even if they're not familiar with Bob Dylan. This song, what we gather from the insights that we've got thus far is maybe related to some kind of, acid, LSD, you're on a trip
experience
and it's taking you on an experience.
Yeah.
And in general, from what I've been learning about Bob Dylan, his lyrics sometimes can be really hard to crack in terms of a code. So he keeps you engaged with his lyrics, but sometimes you may spend some energy trying to figure out.
Yeah, there's a little bit more depth there, underlying message.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Anyways.
Maybe you have to be on acid to know what he's saying.
Well, I guess we'll find out when we get in there. But let's start it and get into some more Bob Dylan, because we've only got one under our belt. Maybe it wasn't representative of his sound, but we'll find out a little bit more about him in our second track.
Let's do it.
Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I'm not sleepy, and there is no place I'm going to. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. In the jingle jangle morning, I'll come following you. Though I know that evening's empire has returned into sand, vanished from my hand, left me blindly here to stand, but still not sleeping. My weariness amazes me, I am branded on my feet. I have no one to meet, and the ancient empty streets too dead for dreaming. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I'm not sleepy, and there is no place I'm going to. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. In the jingle jangle morning, I'll come following you. Take me on a trip upon your magic swirling ship. My senses have been stripped, my hands can't feel to grip, my toes too numb to step. Wait only for my boot heels to be wandering. I'm ready to go anywhere, I'm ready for to fade into my own parade. Cast your dance and spill my way, I promise to go under it. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I'm not sleepy, and there is no place I'm going to. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. In a jingle jangle morning, I come following you. Though you might hear laughing, spinning, swinging madly across the sun, it's not aimed at anyone, it's just escaping on the run. And but for the sky, there are no fences facing. And if you hear vague traces of skipping reels of rhyme to your tambourine in time, it's just a ragged clown behind. I wouldn't pay it any mind. It's just a shadow you're seeing that he's chasing. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me.
So I believe I was accurate with my assessment in the beginning.
Yes.
In that you will have some trouble figuring out what the heck Bob is saying.
Yeah, I think that if this was something where I had zero context going into this about what he was talking about, like you said, obviously we had been told a little bit in advance, I'd be like, what is this? Like, this is going right over my head. But I think because we knew that, I can see how there's subtle references in there for sure.
Oh, there's more than subtle references.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have known
pretty
that's what he was
clear.
talking about if I didn't know that, right?
Well, okay, so
I
this
wouldn't
is,
at
this is
least.
what I'm saying, in that you don't quite understand what he may be referencing. Because in my opinion, I think that there's more to this song than just that. I think there's more of a meaning behind this song. I don't know what it is yet. That's the problem. And I would probably need to listen to it a few times before I could come to a conclusion on what he's talking about. Because I think there's some reference to your mind in this, and like how it's a prison in terms of opening up your eyes to more of a greater state of consciousness, to not paying attention to maybe some of the distractions when he's referring to like the clown behind you. And, you know, and so, yeah, I think there's the specific maybe drug references of like not being able to sleep and your senses and all this other stuff, right? But I think beyond that, I think when he's saying, you know, I'm not sleepy and there's no place I'm going to, he's referring to, like I said, his mind trying to figure out life, so to speak. But I can't pinpoint specifically what some of those references would be,
Yeah, on a
because there's so
first
much
listen.
going on the
For
first
sure.
listen.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's kind of my first thoughts listening to 3 minutes of it.
Some of the things that like stood out to me were him saying like, you know, him wanting to be put under the spell. So to me, that means like he wants to get high. You know, talking to me where you were talking about the distractions and that stuff, like to me, that reminded me of like hallucinations.
Yep.
So that's kind of what I thought about that. But the song itself, like as a musical piece, like I'm not usually one for that kind of like twangy string sound, but I actually like it in this with his voice. I think it suits his voice really well.
Yeah.
So musically, I think it's well put together, and I think that they compiled this in a way that like really complements the instrumentation with his vocal.
Yeah, I think you're totally accurate in that surface. It's not really surface level, because you'd have to know he was talking about those things.
Yeah,
in
and
depth.
I'm talking about 2 layers deep. You're talking about 3 layers
Exactly,
deep.
that's what I was going to allude to. I think it might be a double entendre in some of that sense. So, yeah, I agree with, you know, the sound it's different than the other one that we listened to, his vocal anyways. His vocal sounds, I can't remember what year that was from, the first one that we did.
Yeah,
so
I don't
maybe
remember
he's
either.
just aged more in that first one that we did.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's pretty simple in terms of like the musical composition. And I think, you know, I'm a little surprised that this went to number 1, just from the standpoint of it's not
just have
got a lot of
simplicity to
bells
it.
and whistles to it.
Yeah. It almost sounds like it's a banjo, like potentially.
Yeah, I'm
I don't
not 100% sure on what the instrumentation used
Yeah.
was, but it's not, you know, anything that I would have expected to. If you told me this song went to or you told me what the number 1 song was at the time, I wouldn't have guessed this, right? And that's probably a tribute to his ability to capture you with the uniqueness of his lyricism.
Yeah, but it's
Anyways.
definitely more like laid back and relaxed.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Anyways, let's keep it going.
I'm not sleepy, and there is no place I'm going to. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. In the jingle jangle morning, I come following you.
There's the bells and whistles.
So harmonica action.
And take me disappearing through the smoke rings of my mind, down the foggy ruins of time, far past the frozen leaves, the haunted, frightened trees, out to the windy beach, far from the twisted reach of crazy sorrow. Yes, to dance beneath the diamond sky with one hand waving free, silhouetted by the sea, circled by the circus sands, with all memory and fate driven deep beneath the waves. Let me forget about today until tomorrow. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I'm not sleepy and there is no place I'm going to. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. In the jingle jangle morning, I come following you.
So that was Mr. Tambourine Man by Bob Dylan. It was a very, different melody than I would say I'm accustomed to. He was kind of playing to the way he wanted it to sound rather than following a specific kind of melody.
Yeah, I thought it was definitely unique, but I still found it to be like catchy, and you could like catch the groove.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely is something that I feel like if I, listen to this and we didn't listen to another one, we're going to do another video after this, but if we just stopped here, it'd probably be stuck in my head for the rest of the night, right?
Yeah, me too.
It was definitely, I think, deeper dive into Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
And probably what to expect from him going forward.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting too to see like the different types of sounds that he has, right?
Well, yeah, I think going forward now, I'm kind of expecting every song is going to be probably a word salad that you need to figure out.
That's fair. I think that's probably accurate.
I mean, this might have been more so because of the drug-induced references.
Yes.
Maybe a little hard to pinpoint everything, but generally speaking, I'm starting to understand some of the comments that people have said about Bob Dylan without me hearing him. Now that I've heard him, I can kind of piece them together.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense to you.
What are your thoughts in general? Did you enjoy this one more than the last one? What are your feelings after getting our second introduction to Bob?
I don't know, because like I like this one. I feel like I like this one musically more potentially, but I did think that he did a really great job at storytelling in the last one. So I don't know. I'm kind of like half and half right now. So we have to do another one so I can like make a final decision.
Don't worry, Mark has made another request, so we have another one coming from Bob. And so just circling back on what you said in the last one, you had mentioned you weren't a huge fan of the vocal, and you needed to hear a little bit more from Bob to kind of make a grander assessment. What are your feelings about the vocal performance?
Yeah, I mean, in the last one, I think I had said by the end it had grown on me a little bit, and like I had said that I could see how like by the end of the song it kind of fit in for me.
Yeah.
And I would say the same with this. Like his vocal alone, it's not my favorite in the world, but again,
it's not what he's known for anyway. So,
but I think that, like I said, like paired with the musical composition of the song and like the complexity of the lyrics, I think altogether, like it just highlights his talent. And I think, like I said, when we stopped it, to me, the vocal and the instrumentation really complemented each other. So in this, I actually liked it because I feel like the background music sat in well with his vocal
sound.
Yeah, like that's what it is, right? It sounds like a folksy kind of song. So, if that's like what I'm looking to listen to, then like I would be totally fine with this, right?
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed our reaction to Mr. Tambourine Man by Bob Dylan. If you did, hit the like button. If you want to leave us a comment, do so now. Don't forget to make sure you hit the subscribe and notification bell, because you want to make sure you come back and check out our next video.
Yes.
That's it though from us today. We'll be back with another one soon.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.